you guys, I am Phenomenal Candace. Thank you so much for those who are new. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you enjoy. So, I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about several products that I like to use. Of course, to each his own, and there's no right or wrong way. It's just what makes you feel comfortable. So, let's go ahead and get started with a little bit of a product application review, and I'm gonna go ahead and start the technique. So basically on myself, what I like to do is just make sure, of course, I already have my canvas for my face, me and my foundation, concealer, powder, all of that good stuff has already been applied. Before I start applying eyeshadow, of course, I'm not wearing any right now, but when I do, I always like to do my eyebrows first. It just works best for me. Some other people may want to do eyeshadow first and then brows. Whatever is your preference, so be it. So, what I like to use on myself is from MAC Cosmetics, and it's called Dip Down. And it looks pretty much like this. This is a gel consistency. And let me open a little bit. And so, of course, this is from MAC Cosmetics, and you can purchase this at your nearest local MAC. Um, I like to use this because it's prolonged wear. And then I'm going to let you see the back. So you guys can screenshot, take a picture, write it down. So just to make sure that you have the name of the product that I'm going to be using. But I like Dip Down simply because it's long wearing, especially in the summer months. A lot of people have either very hydrated skin, oily skin. I've had certain people or some people to let me know that, you know, if they apply their brows, it looks oily or a little bit too much going on, and it's not long lasting, it rubs off, etc. So I like to do this. I like to use this because it allows me to glide it on smoothly, and once it's in place, it pretty much stays. So it works well for me. Of course, there are so many other options that you guys can incorporate when you apply your brow. Another product that I like to use is MAC Cosmetics. It's called Spike, and this is an eyebrow pencil. And I like this eyebrow pencil. I use a lot of these on my clients. Um, Sometimes I'll use it for myself. It just kind of depends whichever one I grab. Of course, this is long wearing as well. I don't have a problem with it not lasting. It's very easy to maneuver. Concealer to clean up as, or let me say define look. I just apply a little bit of the MAC Cosmetics, and the shade that I use is NW40. The brush that I like to use, of course, I like to use the angle brush. This is, of course, MAC Cosmetics number 266. And I like the angle brush because it allows me to recreate or to create the shape of the brow to follow my actual brow hair. Now, although my brows are thin, and of course I have to really kind of focus and kind of draw it into the shape that I want. I love to use this brush. It allows me to focus, become more precise. It's very easy to maneuver, let me say that. So you just need a little bit of the product, not a lot, because of course, you know, the placement of the product, of course, is going to be a little bit more defined. So I always like to start, for example, and I barely have touched my brush, just a tad little bit with the product. So I like to start around here, around the beginning of the brow, and I just kind of gently, as you can see, gently stroke the Dip Brown brow gel until I actually come up with the shape that I like. Now, of course, you guys don't be too heavy-handed because this is a gel and it's very, very creamy. So I don't want you to lose control of the amount of placement that you're putting on your brow. And so, but of course, if it's too much, you can always blend and you can always remove. So, but it's just kind of better to do it perfected best in the beginning, as opposed to just trying to go back and clean up. And so as you can see, I am gently placing the product, and I'm basically following the shape as you can see on my left eyebrow. Of course, a little bit is on the brush. As you can see, I'm filling in. And don't worry, you guys, if it's not 100% the same as the other brow, because both brows should not be identical. They're kind of like sisters or twins, let me say that. So, of course, I'm still blending. And then I blend a little bit toward the beginning, but you want to make sure that the placement, you want to kind of measure right there, maybe at the top part to where your nose. And you want to make sure, sometimes when people apply brows, they may put too much right in here, and it makes it seem as though it's a unicorn brow. So of course I'm still drawing in my brows. It's a piece of cake, nothing difficult. Don't let the consistency of the gel scare you. Just remember, you're in control. You know, you can go very light-handed. Just start very light-handed and then build depending on how defined you want your brow to be. And as you notice, I'm doing it. Now I'm getting ready to start and fill in gently and slowly toward the tail, because I don't want a lot of that product on the tail end. So I'm basically just kind of rubbing in the center, and then I follow it on out toward the end. And so that's that particular brow that I've done. I like to start in the beginning of the brow underneath, and do you see I have that line, and I just like to draw the line out just a little bit. Make sure you just want to follow your brow line, just follow it on out. Okay, so of course, don't be alarmed. I know it seems like, oh my gosh, I may have put too much on. How do I blend it? I don't want to blend it and take my other part of my brow off. I know a lot of these concerns and questions that people generally have, but what you want to do is, and the reason why I like the 266 is because I'm able to blend. I'm able to focus and blend. And don't worry about not blending well, because trust me, I have a technique that's going to work. And so what you want to do is use that 266, and wherever you placed your concealer, just begin to, and take your time. It's very, very important that you take your time and just start blending downward. Just start blending downward until you fade it into the skin area. Now it's very important that you blend very well. I'm a very big blender. I hate for people to know the placement of something, and then of course where I started and then where I ended. So I like it to be to where it blends and you can't tell where I start or the end point. I'm sorry, I got a little bump right there, but it'll be okay. I wasn't able to kind of shape up my eyebrow area prior to. Usually I like to kind of get my brows waxed, but I just didn't feel like doing all of that. Of course, especially going through the pandemic, I just said I'll just kind of make it do what it do, especially when I'm drawing in my brows myself. So I can camouflage very easily. And that's another reason why I like the Studio Finish Concealer, because of the consistency and it covers well. Okay, so once I continue to blend, and then I want to take the remaining of the product and just basically focus on the tail. The tail of the brow. And continue. So the next step is I'm going to use powder. The purpose for the powder is going to help me to continue to blend. It's going to help that line not be as defined, but kind of blend in more with your skin tone. So the powder that I'm using, of course, is Bobbi Brown, and the shade is Golden Brown. So what I also like to do is use my 239. This is my MAC brush. 239 is a flat brush, and I like to use it because it allows me, once again, to have control over the placement of the powder. So what I want to do is put the powder right toward wherever I started, which is a little bit outward from the brow. And then I like to blend. I like to follow basically the concealer area that was blended into the brow and underneath, and I just like to just kind of clean up a little bit so it looks natural. Look at my brow. Hello. Okay, phenomenal family, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. Don't forget to leave me those comments. Hit the bell notification button, the like button, so you can be updated on forthcoming YouTube videos. Of course, I'm going back, and then I'm just kind of patting in that area, just making sure I pat everything very well to where it's concealed. And please, please, please be careful not to remove your eyebrow as you're patting. And if you do, just go back with, of course, your angle brush or whatever brush that you like, and just apply a little bit more product, fill in on whatever the area that you may have smudged a little bit, and then follow it back up with your concealer. So it's easy as 1, 2, 3. I always tell people practice makes perfect. You may not get it the first day, you may not get it the second, but trust me, if you keep being consistent, you're going to catch on, and consistency is the key. So you guys, that of course concludes my eyebrow tutorial, and as you can see, that is how I apply my brow. Looks cute. Hi, looks good to me. So don't forget to leave those comments below. I hope that you guys enjoyed my eyebrow demonstration, as well as some of the products that I like to use. Once again, to each his own. You don't have to go out and buy expensive products. Whatever makes you comfortable, of course, budget friendly, number one. And I think that's about it. So once again, don't forget to hit that subscription button, and stay tuned for more forthcoming videos. Thanks for watching. I am Phenomenal Candace, and have a wonderful day.